What's up, everybody? Top Shelf Tesla back with a really exciting video. Just got this in and I really can't wait to unbox it and get it in the car. This is the new 7.2-inch rear entertainment display with HVAC controls and passenger seat controls as well. This, guys, this is a game changer. I've seen a few videos already posted of it. I couldn't wait to get mine in. This is the one we've been waiting for. And I have an awesome promo code at the end of the video that will save you 25% off, and you can have this screen for $350 shipped. The code will be at the end. Let's get into the box here. Typical SATONIC box. Nice packaging. And let's see what we got. Take the foam away. All right, you got a nice big QR code there for installation tips. And here's the screen itself. All right, so we got the screen. And you got two sets of cables. You have a pry tool. You have a USB-A to USB-C. You have a loop bypass. So it says if you have rear power connector, you don't need this cable. All right, so you have extra set of cables here. And let's get into the screen itself. And guys, this one is gorgeous. They really hit this one out of the park. And look at this, guys. Wow. This is beautiful. Nice chrome bezel, full screen. And we'll talk about the vent on the bottom because I know there's been some concerns about airflow. And we will do an airflow test to make sure that it's not completely degraded. This is an easy install, maybe 5-7 minutes tops. I'm going to walk you through it right now. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to remove the existing vent. That's simply done by just either pull it off. If you can't get it off, you can use the little pry tool that's included. You're just going to grab around both edges, pull it towards the rear seat, and it should pop right off. And then on the bottom here is where your connections are. You're going to take this tab here, pull up and press forward, and that's it. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take off this bottom cover here. And the way you do that, take your pry tool, I take a little finesse, but once you get it popped off one clip, then it's just a series of 5 plastic clips. Okay. And you can just pull this off, throw it to the side. There are 2 Torx 20 bolts, 1 and 2. I've already taken them out just to speed up the video. So you're going to take those out, get yourself a nice little T20 screwdriver. That works great. Okay. This is going to be the connection for that one cable. We'll talk about that in a second. But the first thing you want to do is, just so you get cable routing management done correctly, you're going to pull this cover off. And you're going to pull that cover towards the rear seat. You can see this clip here. If you look at this clip, it's clipped in this way, so you're pulling it out that way. Okay, put that to the side. Now you're going to route your cables up here. But before we do that, we're going to need to shut the power down in the car. We go to the main display. we go to safety. You're going to scroll all the way up, and then you see power off. It's going to ask you to confirm the power off. Now this is very important. When you're working with the power off, it's key not to open or close any doors because it will trigger a power on event, and you're going to be disconnecting the CAN bus connection here. So if you do that while the car powers on, you could cause some issues. So just be careful with that. And we're going to take out next, we're going to grab the harness. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our factory USB plug. This is not used in this installation. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this jumper or this little loop, and you're going to pop this on. There's only one way it goes on. Okay, and that gives you the loop is installed. Okay, now the tricky part here, I have another accessory installed on this CAN bus connection already. So you're going to have two blue cables. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break that connection here. You're going to press down that little tab and just wiggle it out. Just like that. And now we're going to take the new bridge. And if you haven't done any accessory work before, you can piggyback as many of these as you like on the CAN bus. The tricky part is getting them all to fit. And so I had the other iteration of the rear AC controls previous to this install. So I do have enough space here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck all this back in as best as I can. I'm going to bridge this connection first. Now these cables are pretty thick, so they are hard to work with. So you're just going to have to give it a little go. You want to make sure you hear that click. And now we're going to do some cable management here. We're just going to just be careful. Don't force it too much, but you should have enough room here to get everything in there. At least two bridges. That's why I had you take off that cover too. It helps. All right, so now we've got our cord here. Okay, so now this is going to go up into the to the new screen and give it power. And then this cable here, this is going to be for your rear passenger seat control. So this allows you to control the front passenger seat from the rear screen. Right now, I'm not going to install that. So if you don't want to install that, all you have to do is just disconnect this green wire. Just squeeze the two tabs and pull. So we're going to take our screen, and you can see on the back, there's only one cable connection. So you're going to take your connection here, marry it up. You should hear a little snap in place. Okay, so the next part, once you get your wire situated, we're going to be putting this bottom brace back on, this bottom fascia. So we're going to make sure we have our cables underneath here. Okay, and we're going to reattach that. Make sure you have all four tabs are connected, and we're going to push it back towards the back of the car here. I missed one, so that's why I popped out. There you go. Okay, now it's in. Now we're going to take our T20 screws. We're going to put them back in the two holes here. Just hand tighten them in place. Okay. Now we can go back and take our bottom cover. That's just going to pop right on. Okay, I'm going to stuff this down. I'm going to stuff the USB cable with a loop. Just stuff it in that little gap there. It's fine. Then you're going to stuff the rest of the cabling into the little gap. Make sure it's not going into the vent. You want to run your cables along the side there. And we are ready to rock. And that's it. The screen is installed. Nice flush installation. Let's take a look. Yep. no gaps along the side. All right, let's get the power back on. So the way you do that is you could either step on the brake or sit in the front driver's seat and it should turn back on. Alright guys, so once you have the display installed and it powers up for the first time, what you're going to see is this main HVAC display here, okay? So this is your rear climate control panel, and you'll see when you start this up from the factory, it's going to be in Celsius. If you're in Canada or in Europe, then that works fine for you. If you're in the US like I am, then we're going to want to change that over to Fahrenheit. So the way we do that is we're going to hit this center button here, and we're going to go into settings, and then we're going to go into temperature unit, and we're going to change that over to Fahrenheit, just like that. Auto lock, you can change the time. I have it set to 5 minutes, but you can do 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes is the default. I have mine set to 5 minutes. And then if you want to change the time, it's going to be in 24-hour format default. So you're going to switch it over to 12-hour format if you like AM, PM. And then whatever your time zone is, I am in the New York time zone, so I am British Mean Time minus 5 hours. And that's really all you have to do as far as factory settings are concerned. So now what we'll do is we'll go back, and you can see at the bottom here, you have the 74 degrees. So for the fan controls, simply just turn this on and off, just like that. Your fan speed is here, up and down, and you can hear the fan just kicked on. It's got a nice flow to it. Airflow-wise, there's a little degradation. It's nothing major. You still feel the airflow pretty good. So now let's get into the actual setup of the device with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So for Wi-Fi, what you're going to do is you're going to go back into that center option menu again. We're going to go to Android settings. And now you can see you have network and internet, and then connected devices. I've already gone ahead and paired the main Tesla display to the device. So what that will allow me to do is if I want to play video, I can do that through the car audio just by switching over to this display in the main Tesla UI. So if we go to network and internet, you'll see I already have my hotspot is paired Starlink Net. That is the hotspot from my heads-up display. That's running a 4G network from T-Mobile. And then if we go down, there's some other settings like hotspot and tethering and SIM cards. Those are not applicable. This display does not have a SIM card slot, unfortunately. So you will have to pair it with some type of a hotspot, either your phone or like I have the dedicated device up there with the 4G SIM card that's broadcasting a network. So if we go back here and we go to connected devices, and you'll see it's visible as TSL BTD to other devices. So the way that you would do this to pair it would be to go to the main Tesla UI up front, go into your Bluetooth just as if you were setting up a phone, and then you would select that TSL BTD to pair, and then that would establish the Bluetooth connection from the screen to the main Tesla UI. All right, so now if you go to lock, that will actually lock the screen, and it's got a nice little lock screen animation here. Looks pretty good. And then you have screen power off. That will simply just power off the display. We tap it again to wake it up, and it's back on. So as far as general settings, that's it. Now, if you go back into your app settings here, okay, you do have Chrome browser built in. You have a file manager. You have the Google Play Store. You have YouTube. You have Bluetooth phone pairing. You have an install, which is for like APKs, sideloading apps, things like that. You have a music option there that ties into the music on the bottom. You have a video option, which is the same thing as music, but you can have onboard video as well. And then you have OTA updates. So this is OTA updatable. And then the Z-Link 5 is the CarPlay connectivity. So you do have CarPlay in this screen as well. My phone is already paired to the front dash display for CarPlay, so I can't do both. But you can do CarPlay on this display. All right, so now let's go into some of the advanced features. So if we go into the main display and we go into the Android settings again, like I said earlier, this display is capable of working with Bluetooth headphones. So if we go to connected devices and we have pair new device, I actually have a pair of Bluetooth headphones here that I'm going to try and pair. So I'm going to turn those on and into pairing mode. Okay, so they just came on to Bluetooth mode. So now we're going to go to the display, hit pair new device, and let's see if they show up. And I know they're called H7, so we hit H7, and we're going to hit, oh, hang on, we're going to hit H7. We don't have to allow it to access phone history. And the headphones are, you can see the blue light, they are paired, and it's actually showing the battery life as well, which is awesome. So that's a quick and easy way to pair the Bluetooth headphones. I have tried to pair 2 pairs of Bluetooth headphones. Unfortunately, that is not available at this time. So you can only pair 1 set of Bluetooth headphones to this device. The next thing I want to show you is pairing a Bluetooth controller. So I have an Xbox One Bluetooth enabled controller. Okay, so I have the Bluetooth controller in pairing mode. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can just, on the top, the little connect button, hold it down for 3 seconds. It'll start flashing, and you'll see it right there come up. The Xbox wireless controller. And we're going to hit pair. And there you go, guys. So you have the headphones and the wireless controller are both paired at the same time. Kids want to play a game in the back and they want to use the controller and the Bluetooth headphones. They can do that. That is awesome. So if you notice out of the gate, Disney Plus and Netflix are not included. There is a workaround, and I will post the link to the files in the description. You will have to manually install them using a thumb drive. The display does come with a USB-A to C converter, so if you only have a USB-A thumb drive, you can use that. Make sure you format the drive to FAT32, and you're going to copy those files right onto the root directory of the file. So don't make any folders or anything. Just copy it right onto the root of the file, and you're going to use the right port here, and we're going to insert that. And then we're going to go to this file manager option here. Now, if your USB is connected, you'll see the USB signal up here next to the volume. And what you're going to do is go up to the left-hand corner here, hit the little hamburger, and you'll see USB drive will come up. Okay, now I have the file on here already. So I'm going to go here, and it will say for your security, your phone is not allowed to install unknown apps. So you're going to go to settings, and you're going to hit allow from this source. And you're going to go back, and it says, do you want to install this application? It does not require any special access. You're going to hit install. This is also known as sideloading. If you're familiar with Android, you know exactly what I'm doing. And we'll wait for that to install. Now, once Netflix is installed, I have been informed by the manufacturer At this time, do not update the app if it asks you to. So leave this version alone. So we're going to go to open, and it'll say new version, and just say cancel. All right, so now I've logged into Netflix, and you can see it's working fully. And for copyright purposes, I'm not going to play any video just because I don't want this video getting blocked on YouTube. But you can see it works just great. No issues at all. So that's the workaround for Netflix. So as we showed you before with the USB drive, I have another drive that I keep in my other car that has movies on it. If I go back to File Manager, all right, now I click on the kids movies. I have a whole bunch of kids movies here that are on my thumb drive. If you didn't have a Wi-Fi connection or internet connection, this is definitely a viable alternative. If you had a couple of movie files, these are all rips from DVDs that I've had over the years that I have kept up to date because we use them in the other car a lot. And this works just as well. I'll show you quickly. If I click on any of the movies here, Spider-Man, and I don't want to get copyright banned, but you can see starts up perfectly. No issues, guys. It works 1, 2, 3. So if you don't have the Wi-Fi capability or you don't want to use your hotspot, you can certainly load some movies onto the thumb drive and plug them directly into the display. I do recommend getting some type of right angle bend just in case your passengers in the rear kick into this. But yeah, this is working great. Sorry, I just rewound it, but you can skip ahead and you can see the picture quality this is a Blu-ray rip that I have. This is 1080p and it's playing beautifully. Now the last thing I want to show you guys, and this is something that nobody else has done yet, is we're going to try playing some retro games on here. Everybody's shown Dune Buggy, Beach Buggy, whatever it is. I'm going to kick it up a notch here. So this is called Retro Arch. So if you're not familiar with this, Retro Arch is basically an emulator for all the old school systems that are about 20, 30 years old. And what I've done here is I've actually copied over my library of NES games that I have on a computer, and I'm going to try and see if they'll play with the controller that I have. So I've already loaded up the core. I'm going to load up some content, and the way you do that is I go to Storage, USB 1, and I have the file here. Now real fast. If you haven't figured out what game I'm going for yet, you will know shortly. Alright, if you know, you know. So let's see if it works. Oh, guys, we are playing Nintendo with the Xbox controller. Let's go. And I will figure out how to get those buttons off the display. But guys, this is working, and I don't think I want to go back in my house. We got Mike Tyson's Punch Out in the Model 3, guys. First video to do it. Don't sweat it. Let's see if Little Mac moves. He's moving, guys. Look at that. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is childhood bliss right here, folks. All right, so this is definitely doable, okay? And the way we exit out, just click the little bug in the bottom there. Go to home, swipe up from the top, and you're out. So guys, I can't tell you how pumped I am for this screen. I waited for the V1 Didn't like the look of it. The V2 came out, didn't like the look of it. It had too many bugs with the Bluetooth headphones. It was missing the bezel around the edge. This one, guys, it checks every box. It's beautiful to look at. The screen is crisp. The UI is minimal. There's no mess. It's nice and clean, just like the Model X and S refresh. All right, it looks exactly like that. The interface is snappy. There's no lag. Okay, and overall, I have to give it. This is a 10 out of 10, guys. They really finally got this perfect. The only thing that I would change is the ability to add two Bluetooth headphones, which could possibly be done with an update. You could also possibly look into a splitter. I can't praise this display enough. It really, aside from the issue with the small vent, which to me is really not a big deal, the air output is pretty good still. I can't recommend this display enough. I'm going to put a promo code on the screen now. If you go to SATONICAutoparts.com, I'll leave the link in the description. Use my promo code. You can save 25% on this display and everything else in their store for a limited time. 25%. This screen, when you check out after using my promo code, will be yours for $350. You cannot beat that deal, guys. They are under $70 under every other major retailer that's selling this screen right now. Fast shipping, free shipping, no tax. Check out the link in the description. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you want to see me try something on the display, I'm more than happy to. But right now, I got Nintendo to play, guys, because me and Mike Tyson got a dinner date from 1989 here. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys. Take care. Have a good night. Peace.